I'm going to take you through a statistical package for the social sciences. It was launched in 1968, though at that time it was called Predictive Analytics Software, so-called PAS. But with time, it changed to SPSS, the Statistical Package for the Social Sciences. Now, I think since then, I think it has got 40 years. I think if you can calculate well. Then it was changed from predictive to statistical package, and from then it integrated with IBM. IBM is also an organization that deals with softwares. So when it integrated with IBM in 2009, then it was called the IBM SPSS Statistics. This is the view when you open the IBM SPSS Statistics. This is how it appears. Then you can cancel this. It has got no problem, or you can click on new data set. As you all can see, this has it looks like Excel, if you can see, because they all deal with rows and columns. Excel has got rows and columns, and this has got rows and columns. But we have got a big difference. Let me just take you through just a simple difference between those two. SPSS, mostly for it is a tool that is formulated for statistical analysis of data. For it is just formulated for statistical analysis of data. Then the other one, it is just a Microsoft product. It is just a Microsoft product that is used for data entry and the data manipulation. You get, for it doesn't have the statistical analysis. You get, then for it it deals with calculations. Okay, both they deal with calculations, but this one, it is more faster, and its performance is better than the Excel. You get. Then we're going to go straight to the main aim of this video. I'm going to start by the title bar. As you see up here, we have our title bar. What is a title bar? A title bar is like a heading. Everything that you do has got a title bar, has got a heading. So when we're doing our data, when we're going to use SPSS, you have to make sure that you have named your information. Mostly this title bar, it changes from untitled one, data set, whenever you save your data. Whenever you save your data into somewhere, I will show you how you can save your data, because it cannot save anything when you have not put the data in. Then we have got what you call the menu bar. This is the menu bar. This is the menu. It has got lists of multiple menus or multiple commands that can help you get. All these are lists of all these are menus, are different commands of different things. All these. So this is our menu bar. Then we have got what we call the toolbar. This toolbar, it is just a picture. These are just pictures of menu, of some menu items. as these images or these icons, they are reflected in some of these things up here, as you all see these toolbars. Some things are already exist in this, so it is just a simplicity of some items. Then we have got the data grid. This is the data grid. The whole of these, the columns and rows, they are termed as data grid. You get? Then we have a status bar. This status bar, it shows, it is like a processor of the IBM. You get? It tells you whether it is ready or not. So now if you can see mine is saying processor is ready. You get? So we have two views. We have got the variable view and we have got the data view. The variable view, it deals with coding of variables. Okay, of coding. We're going to code our variable. We're not going to enter data, okay, but we're going to code our variable. What is a variable, by the way, in that case? I will talk about variable in full term, because a variable is a big thing. Variable is a big thing because you who is watching this video, you also named as a variable. You get? A variable is something. You get? A variable is just something. So anything can be a variable. Anything that is of a target, it can be a variable. You get? Anything of your choice can be a variable. This SPSS has got multiple editions: the basic, standard, profession, and premium. All those editions have got their different modules. Yeah, but we won't talk about that. Then we're going to go straight to the point. What does name mean? What does name mean? This. What does name mean? And what are we supposed to insert in name? Name is one of the most important thing in IBM or in your data insert or in your data coding. If you don't have a name, it won't do anything. It won't be of use. You get? So, what is name? Name is anything or is a variable. You get? Name is a variable. First of all, I told you a variable is anything. You get? Is anything or is something of your choice or of your target. A person can be a variable. Now, a variable has good rules. Note that. A variable has got rules. Yeah. A variable has got its own rules that govern it. Let me bring a notepad and I write those rules of a variable. Rule number 1. When you're writing a variable, never put space. No spaces in between. Never put a space. No spaces when you're doing. Rule number 2. A variable must not exceed 64 bytes. It should not exceed 64 bytes. What do I mean by bytes? You hear the word bytes. But what I'm meaning with bytes, I mean characters. You get? I mean characters. What do I mean by characters? If I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all these word characters those are characters or letters. Again, or letters or numbers. Again. So it should not exceed 64. It should not exceed 64 letters or 64 numbers. or 64 numbers. That's what I mean by not exceed 64 bytes. That's rule number 2. A variable must be unique. Must be unique. It must be unique. Even if you do anything, it cannot allow. It must be unique. What do I mean by unique? In the database or in the data set that you are trying to input or you are trying to code, each should be not the same as another. Now, for example, let me say if I put Michael as my variable, then I also come here and I say Michael as my variable. It won't allow, because it does not allow duplication of variables. You can never duplicate a variable. You can never duplicate a variable. Then we have rule number 2. Sorry, and we have got other rules. Another rule is we have what we call reserved keywords. Reserved keywords. We have what we call reserved keywords. What do I mean by reserved keywords? I mean that the keywords that are already in the data, in IBM, they were coded. So they are taken as something meaningful. You get? Now like all. Now like buy. Now like GT. Now like LE. Now like NE. Now like O. Now like with. Now like and. Now like GE. Now like ED. EQ, sorry. What else? Now like not. Yes, not. We also have 2. I think we also have LT. All these keywords, never use them. Why? Because they have a meaning. I think you see, I have typed the word all, but name contains a reserved word. So this means that the word all is used in the data coding. So if you put all, it means something else that was coded for something else. If you put by, that means it is something else. Those words I have told you, they are reserved for a specific reason. Again, they are not used for anything. Now like not. You see, all these words are not used. Now like to. So these words are not considered as variables. As I have told you, they are not considered as variables. Never consider them as a variable. Then we have got symbols. Never use symbols. Never use symbols. Never use symbols. Never use symbols. But there are specific symbols that you can use. Again, there are specific symbols that you can use. Specific symbol number 1, it is at. You can use it. Specific symbol number 2, it is hash. Those ones you can use them. Specific symbol number 3, it is a $sign. You can use, you can use a $sign. Where is a $sign? Yes, you can use a $sign. Then specific symbol number 4, we have an underscore. This underscore is so important. So important, I have said. If this underscore represents space. So if your variable is big, you can use an underscore to represent space. Sorry for that. You can use an underscore to represent space. You get me? Then we have another thing. You should never end with an underscore. Never end with an underscore. Never end with an underscore. Hope that's the right spelling. Never end with an underscore. So these are the must rules of a variable. You should note them. These are the most rules of a variable. You should note them. A variable should have all these. Then we're going to another title. We can clear this. We have what we call type. What is type? What is a variable type? Yet, a variable type can be numeric. What is numeric? If I say numeric, what do I mean? If I say numeric, these are values. These are variables whose values are in numbers. You get? Whose values are in numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and beyond. You get? So, numeric mostly deals with continuous data, deals with counts data. You get? Deals with scale data. That's what numeric deals with. You get? Then we have got what we call comma. What is comma? As the way you hear the word comma is a comma. You get? It is just displayed by a comma. Okay? Now, for example, let me bring back my notepad. Comma. If I say comma, it's this. You get? Now, let me take a scenario. If you want your output to be 30 millions, that is 1, 2, 3, comma 1, 2, 3. You get? Dot 0, 0. So this one is 30, comma 0, 0, 0, comma 0, 0, dot 0, 0. So this dot represents a decimal. These are decimal points. We shall also talk about the decimals. So, comma, this is how it appears. If you click in comma, you get. So, it also takes numeric variables. It takes numeric variable. Then we have got also what we call we have what we call dot. You get? We have what we call dot. So dot deals with values that are displayed with periods. You get? Values that are displayed with periods. What do I mean dot? Instead of comma, for it will come and put a dot. Instead of comma, it will come and put a dot. That's what I talk about of periods. We shall look on what periods mean in statistics. We shall talk about that later. Then we have got another thing that is called scientific notation. What is a scientific notation? Values that are displayed with an E or a power of 10. Exponent. You all know this thing, a power of 10 exponent. We have something like 1.2. Then we can add something like E. You get? We can add something like E, then 2. You get? 1.2 exponent 2. Okay. 1.2. So this is, if you click on scientific notation, this is how your values will appear. They will bring the exponent in. Then we have what we call date. This date is the actual date. Like if you're coding the date of today, the date of words, okay. So we do with coding that date format. It is like a date format. And if you click on it, it will ask you to select how you want your date to look like. Do you want to say day, months, year, and hour, and minutes, and seconds, and microseconds? Then we have what you call dollar. This one, it is a dollar sign. It is a dollar sign. Then custom currency. This custom currency, you can customize any currency of your choice. Now in Uganda shillings, if you want to put the money in Ugandan shillings, not in dollars, you can customize this one allows you to customize your currency, just that. Then we have got what we call a string. This is string. Most people use a string on everything. Why? Why do they use a string? Because a string is a mixture of all these up. A string is a mixture of all these. A string, you add all these things, all these data types. A string is just a mixture. You can mix numbers, you can mix letters, you can mix anything. Because if you put numeric, my dear friend, you will never put in a digit. You will never put a letter on numeric, because you have told you only want numbers, you only want figures. So if you want a mixture of figures and letters, you have to put on string. The string will be your best choice. Then we have the last one, the restricted numeric. These ones values are displayed I think with leading 0. You get, they are displayed with leading 0, as you see, integer with leading zeros. That's how these are displayed. So that was the data variable type. Then we have got what we call the width. Now, for example, let us put name of student, name of students, name of student. Okay. Name of student is our variable. So we're going to make research on student, name of student. Then we can also put performance, performance of student, performance of students. Okay. Performance of student. So name of student can never be numeric. You get? It can never be numeric because we're dealing with string. Name of students, it is a string. So width means how many characters do you want to put in that variable. You get? You can use this to put, or you can just delete this and put and say, I want fifth, like, what is the largest name? The largest name, we can put 40. You can say 40. You get? Let them be 40 characters. You get? Then decimal. Decimals, as you hear the word decimals, digits appears on the right side. You get? Now, for example, let's take an example. Let's bring back Arnold. We may do like 30.00. You get? So these are counted. This one is decimal 1. This is counted as 1. But here, as you see on decimals, there are 2. You can put 3, you can put 4. So how many decimals you want? The favorite decimals of your choice. You get favorite decimals of your choice. You can say now this one. Why can't it allow us to edit or to input the decimals? Because we are dealing with a string, and the string does not allow decimal points. You get? A string does not allow decimal points. So if you want decimal points, now for example, like performance of students, performance of students, we have got numeric. You select numeric. Why? Because we are dealing with performance, and if we're dealing with performance, okay, let us just call it results. Let us just call it results. Oh, no, we can say math. We can just call it math scores. Math scores. So, I hope that's the right spelling. Yeah. Math scores. Obvious case, we are dealing with scores. We can say numeric because we want scores. Then, we can leave this as default because there is no scores that are beyond 100% if we are in terming of scores, and if we're dealing with scores, those are 1, 2, 3. You get? Those are three digits. You get? Sorry for that. Then decimals. How many decimals do you want? 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You get? Then we are going to what? The most important thing. What is label? What do we call label? Label is a description of a variable. Label is a description of a variable. Right? Now, for example, name of students. Now I'll say name of students in MIU, Metropolitan International School. So this one, it is a large. Okay? It is for it has no limits. Okay? It has no limits. You can put multiples. It has got no limits. Okay? Name of students in MIU. In MIU, master's class. Master's class of math. You get? Name of students in MIU, master's class of math. You get? Then here I can say scores of math. Scores of math in math class at MIU. Yeah. At MIU masters. At MIU. Okay, let's say let's just put it. Scores of math subject or math course unit at MIU master's class. At MIU master's class. You get? So you are describing what variable math is. Math scores. You get? What variable math scores is. So here I have said scores of math course unit at MIU master's class. You get? Then we have what we call values. What are values? What are values? The values are just coded. They are just coded variables. Yeah. Now, for example, if I have got 10 students, or if I have got 5 students, I can use figures to represent, or I can use letters to represent. Now K, I can select K represent Kenneth. You get? As long as what you coding here, you will explain it somewhere so that people can understand it. You get? So here I can say K, then I say Kenneth. You get? Then I can also say M to represent Michael. You get? Then I can say Q to represent Queen. You get? Then I can say KK to represent King, King Kong. You get? I can say that. So this one we coding. You get? We coding values, you get, of a variable. You get? We coding values of a variable. You can change this, you can remove this, you can do anything, you can edit all this. You get? Now, for example, like Mike, I wrote Mavic. Then I can just I put C. Then I will change. It will just change. You get? It will just change, and you can say okay. But you can never code name of students. You get? Because you may be with a class of 1,000 students. You cannot code all that because some students may be with the same letters. So no need of coding that. We shall look a way of coding. Now, for example, if I say gender, okay, now how am I going to term gender as? I won't term it as numeric. I don't want to code my thing as numeric. I want to code my values as a string. Why do I want to code my values as a string? I want to say let it either be F or let it either be M. And not every time you have to code it as 1 or 2. You can code it as any of your option. The width, let it be like that. String, it won't allow. So I will say gender of students at MIU, master's class of math. Master's class of math. Okay. Then in values, I'll come here and say let F represent female. Okay. Let F represent female. Sorry for that. Let F represent for female. Then let M represent male. Okay. Sorry for that. Let M represent male. Then that. Then I have coded so that whenever I put this, it will either show me F or M. So I can say, okay. I can say, okay. So here you cannot code math scores because it is all 100%. Now, what are you going to code? So let me take, for example, how we can code with 1 or 2. Let us say quality. Okay, no, let us just take performance. Okay, let us take health performance, health of student. Let us just say health student. Okay, health of student. Health of student. Let us leave it as numeric. We want to term health of student. Then decimal points, we can leave them as 1 or 2. So here we're going to say health of students at MIU, master's class of math. Yeah. So you're going to find out the health of students odds. That. Then let us say 1 as very good. You get? Then let us say 2 as good. Let us say 3 as fair. Okay? Then let us say 4 as bad or poor. Okay? Let us say very, very poor. Oh, sorry for that. 5, let's say very poor. Yeah. So I have coded this. 1 to represent very good, 2 to represent good, 3 to represent fair, 4 to represent poor, 5 to represent very poor. Now, let us take this as financial status of student. Status of students, that's a financial. Okay, let us take status of student. Status of student. Then here I'll come and say financial status of student at MIU. Then I say that student is either very good, or I can say that student is either very rich. Okay, then I say change. Then here I say rich, the student is rich, then I change. Then here the student is either rich, is neither rich or poor. Is neither rich or poor. So is in the middle. You get? So here I'll bring poor. Then here I'll say very poor. You get? Then what do I mean by missing? Missing data or missing values. What do I mean by missing values? Missing values is just a range of values to be treated as missing. Which values do you want to miss? You have to be with 3 missing values. You get? Now I can say if anyone puts 4, that is a missing value. If anyone puts 5, that's a missing value. If anyone puts 6, that's a missing value. So if anyone puts 5 or 4 or 6, those ones will be counted as useless values in our inserting of data. You get? If anyone puts that, but we don't want to put missing values. This one mostly is ignored. You get? This one is done when you coded your data so that you can allow, you don't allow people to enter unique figures. Now, like 4, if 4 is your unique figure, 5 if it's your unique figure, 6 if it's your unique figure, that is not meant to be considered in your data. Now that, let us just leave it as missing value. Then we have what we call the columns. As you see, columns, those are width of actual columns in the data or in the spreadsheet. How many columns do you want? How many columns do you want? But that one, you can leave it as open because we have multiple columns. You can say, I want 100 columns, or I want 10 columns. You get such things. Sorry for that. I want 100 columns, or I want any columns. You can just click that and you just type 100 columns. But let us just leave it as default. Then alignment. Where do you want your data to be? Do you want it to be on the left, or do you want it to be on the right? You get? Whatever you align here, that's how it goes. Then we have one of the most important things that we consider. This one we have the reason why it said ordinal or nominal, because it has scale also has to be there. But Scale deals with only numeric variable. You get? Scale deals with only continuous variable. What do I mean by continuous variable? A value that you can add 1 and it gives you 2. 1 plus 1, it has to give you 2. You get? Don't put a value that you will say 1. 1 is useless. You can't add 1 on 1 plus 1 and to give you 2. That is not scale. That is not continuous data. Continuous data, it is data that can be continuous. You get? If I add 1 plus 1, I'll get 2. If I add 2 plus 2, I'll get 4. That is what we call as scale data. Then this one, it will take it as nominal data. Why? Because we're dealing with characters. So characters or string, we use nominal data. You get? We use nominal data. Why do we use nominal data at the first stage? Nominal data does not deal with any order. You get? Nominal data, it doesn't deal with any order. Like, what do I mean by order? Now, for example, let us bring back our notepad. Now, for example, let us just clear this. If I say good, what follows good? You either good or you fair or you bad. You get? Or you bad, sorry, or you poor. So that is an order. Okay? But in a numeric, we don't deal with that. Sorry, in a nominal data, we can start with poor, good, then fair. For it has no order that you have to follow. For it is just disorganized. You get? It's just disorganized. It has no order. You get? It has no that you have to follow this, from this step, you follow this. You get? It has no that. So, sorry, then, how are we going to, let us go to math. Now, math, it deals with scale. Why do we deal with scale? Because we are dealing with numeric variables. You get? We are dealing with numeric variables. So, if you ever deal with numeric variables or continuous data or data that can be added to another and it formulates another, that is called scale. We use scale. Then here, on gender, we are not going to use, gender we use nominal. Why? Why has it selected nominal? Because our data here, the data that was coded here, it has female and male. Female and male are not, there is not an order that you have to consider male and then after male you consider female, or that you consider female and after female you consider male. There is no order. As long as there is no order in your data, that means you have to consider nominal measures. You get? You take nominal measures. If you haven't coded your data, that it is considered from 1, you have to follow 1, you follow 2, you follow 3. That is no order. You get? There is no order. You consider female. So you just take that as a nominal data. Then we have got what we call status of student financially. You get? So here we are dealing with ordinal. So what is ordinal? Ordinal, these are values that are categorized, you get, with the sum of intrinsic ranking, you get. We have intrinsic ranking, you get. We have got intrinsic ranking. What do I mean by intrinsic? We have got an asset that is ranking. You are ranking the asset. What do I mean by ranking? As you all know, ranking, if you go to military or police, We have got journals, major journal, and all those big things. Now in ranking here, we are following order. You get? Ordinal follows order. Your data must be in order. Now, for example, 1, you have to be very rich. It follows order. You get? It follows order that very rich, neither rich or poor, then very rich. That is the order. You get? Though my order is not smart, is not smart, but those people, the ones who do in nouns, just know ordinal data deals with nouns, only nouns. If you understand with the word nouns, that's how you can get it. Then we have got like now ranking. Now, for example, we have a ranking. Now let us say you either be the first one, or you either be the last. You get? You either be first or last. Then we also have second. You get? So in ordinal data, we deal with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and above. You get? This is ordinal data. This is ordinal measure. This is ordinal measure. Then we have these same figures, but we can start with 10. You get? We start with 2. You get? We put 5. We get 6. We get 7. We get 8. We get 3. You get? You get? Such thing. You get 3. Then this one is what we call nominal. Nominal measure. So this one is called nominal measure. So all this data, it is categorized. You get? Because we're dealing with categorical data. It is categorized. Hope that's the right spelling. It is categorized. What do I mean by categorized? It is coded into something. Now here I can say, let one represent first. You get? Let one represent first. Then I say let 2 represent second. You get? Let 2 represent second. Then I can say let 3 represent last. You get? Okay. Now, most times we have the last and the first and last. So, in ordinal data, I can say I have 1, then 2. Then, in nominal data, I can start my data with 2, then 1. That is, this one, it is in order. You get? This one, it is in order. It is in order. It follows order. 1, 2, 3. Then this one, it does not follow order. No order. You get? Your data is not ascended in order. No order. But it all means the same thing. You get? It all means the same thing. But this one has no order. This one has no order, nominal data. Then this one has order. So that is what I mean by ordinal and nominal. Then we have got what we call the role. Yeah. So what is role? The role, obvious case, input. The input for it. Input. When you say input, we have the input. We are dealing with the predator. If you understand the word predator in computing or in research, we term it as independent. Get? Independent. Now, for example, let us have a small topic. we are going to have students, yeah, students, let us say, okay, students' performance on math in MIU class, in MIU master's class. Yeah. So that is my heading. Yeah. That is my heading. So what am I going to, what is an independent? You get input is the independent. So here, what is my independent and what is, so we also have what we call target. You get, what is target? Target is the outcome or it is the dependent. You get, it is the dependent. Where am I? Yes, sorry for that. It is the dependent. So the target depends on this. So here, what is my independent? Obvious case, my independent is students. If I don't have students, math won't be useful. But I can have a student and I can represent a student to something else. You get? To any subject. You get? Then here, math will be my dependent. So math is going to depend on student. You click that. Math is going to depend on student. So our role here, we can say we only want the outcome, or we can say we only want the income. So the independent. Then we also have what you call both. I mean both the input and target or output. You get? I be with both the input and out. Then I can say none. I want none of those. You get? I want none of the input or output. You get? So make sure you know how to use this and this. And or. Those things are important. Then we have partition. You get? What do I mean by partition? So you will have both of the data, but you will separate them. You will have the input, you get, and separate it. You get? Separate you will separate it, sorry for that. You will separate it from the output. Input, you will separate it from the output. That is the input and the target. You get? Then split. As the word, the way you hear it. Then I'll have the input, but I'll split it with the output. You get? So I'll have the input, but I'll split it with the output. This is what it all means. Input, output, input, output. So all these, them of student, it is an input. You get? So this one, it is a target. You get? So this one is an input. This one is also an input. Hope I'm clear with that. So what I wanted to show you, it was all these columns. What do the columns mean? So if you want to know more about this, you will have to watch my next video. So as I told you, Michael, and I was doing my video that shows you how to deal with SPSS, what SPSS is all about, how we deal with this. So here we have only been with the variable view. We have not gone to the data view. You click. So data view, we shall do the data view in our next video, and we try to get the statistics of our data in our next video. So here I was just showing you how you code your data. You get how you code your information. You click that. How are you coding your information? So this is how we are going to deal with that. So with that, thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe for more videos.